now we're in our annex. Welcome everybody. Like I said, today is the 13th. It's 9 o'clock in the morning for our regularly scheduled Commissioners Court meeting for Karnes County. We do have a quorum present. Commissioner Rosales is out today, but I was aware of that. So let's stand for our prayer and pledge.
Lord, we come before you now and we pray for your wisdom to apply your teaching to our daily lives. Help us to discern your will in every situation and to make choices that honor you and bless others. Grant us the strength to resist temptation and the courage to stand firm in our convictions. May our lives be a reflection of your wisdom and grace, Lord, and we ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Miss Jamie, we have any citizens signed up to speak this morning.
We do. Vi is the first.
Vi is the first.
Age before duty. Good morning and Happy New Year. Just wanted to start off by providing some information that I took straight off of Texas Association of Counties, TAC, webpage that defines the duties and responsibilities of the county judge and commissioners. These are just brief descriptions, but maybe it will help clear up who is exactly responsible for what. County judge, presiding officer of the commissioners court, represents the county in many administrative functions, serves as budget officer in counties with fewer than 225,000 residents. Most have broad judicial duties such as presiding over misdemeanor criminal and small civil cases, probate matters, and appeals from the justice of the peace court. Serves as head of emergency management. County commissioner, as a member of the commissioners court, exercises broad policy-making authority. Represents one of 4 precincts within the county. Typically responsible for building and maintaining county roads and bridges within their precinct. Commissioners court conducts the general business of the county. Consists of the county judge and 4 commissioners. Adopts the county's budget. Approves all budgeted purchases. Fills vacancies in elected and appointed offices. Sets salaries. Provides and maintains all county buildings and facilities. Let me emphasize that last statement. Provides and maintains all county buildings and facilities. So for anyone to stand up here and say it's the commissioner's job, that isn't exactly true. It's commissioner's court. Speaking of buildings and maintenance, the annex on the square roof issues. Still not resolved. Last discussion I could find, and let me tell you, it was not easy finding these court dates, was June 21st, 2024, when the Tomasetti contract was being discussed. Commissioner Rosales said he, Commissioner Lizzie, and his son went outside and shot the elevation of the landscape. He then said he would meet with these people to discuss it. The judge also said he talked to James and said we could save save the county a ton of money by looking at this a lot closer. I think it's great that court thought we could save a lot of taxpayers' money, but if you don't follow through. We heard it was a roof issue, but then it wasn't. But yet we were being sued for work done on the roof. We heard it was a drainage issue. We heard the building needed to be leveled. There was a geotech study done. All these solutions, but the problem still exists. So now what? Archives building. Last meeting, Commissioner Viatric informed everyone during his report that the contractor for the archives building is walking away. I see the agenda they are suing us also. So now what? Go out for bids again? We only have $450,000 in this year's budget to even spend it if we did go out for bids. This project has been on the budget for at least 5 years. We need solutions to these problems. We need leadership to get it done. Thank you.
Who's next?
Caroline Korzeko.
Judge Kurzekwa.
Good morning. Happy New Year.
Morning.
I'm here to speak about the capital outlay projects, which involve agenda item number 10, Precinct E4 EMS satellite facility this week. But we've got one of those on the agenda almost every Commissioners Court meeting. I'm here today as just one voice, but a voice with over 3 decades of front row seating to watching county government budgeting and spending. First of all, I am not speaking against an EMS satellite facility in Runge. They deserve it. I'm here against the speed and the amount of money being talked about spending on this project. I have seen where $2 million is being designated for this facility. Why not start with a nice portable building with the covers for an EMS unit? This would put EMS coverage out in that area much sooner. Then, maybe the city of Runge could go out for grants to improve their fire department and include an EMS facility in the future. It can be done, but it takes time. Just ask the Falls City Fire Department and the City of Falls City. They did it, and then they invited you in. EMS, that is. How much money is it going to take to run this facility? Consider all that involved. The upkeep, the utilities, another EMS unit, and the payroll for at least 2 EMS techs. Will that money always be there in the future to afford such a large building? Why not add a small area to the future Precinct 4 service station? Have all these options been considered? What is the rush to spend all that money? This plan I'm holding is one of those projects that has been earmarked as a $2 million project. It's been a long time coming. I've been working at very small offices. But it is a 3,000 square foot building that includes office space for 3 precinct officials, a JP office, and a multi-purpose room which can be used as a courtroom and then used as voting area for the precinct. There is a plan in the works for one in Runge as well, and they deserve it. But how does that compare to a location just to house a couple of EMS techs and a parking area for an EMS unit? As elected officials, your job is to make decisions that impact the future of this county, a legacy for the next generations to continue. Please don't rush into million-dollar decisions just so that you can take credit for them during election times. This county does not need a bunch of $2 million buildings erected as fast as all the hotels and motels that came up at the beginning of Eagle Ford Shale. You're spending county money, the voters' tax dollars. You have to answer to them. Please slow down on the spending. Consider all your options.
Thank you, Judge, for that question. Signed up next is Ms. Jamie? No others. Okay, we're going to move to item number 6, discuss, approve, disapprove the request by the Karnes County HR Director to approve a budget amendment moving $1,400 from the contingency fund, which is GL 100-409-4997, to the county judge bond expense, that is GL 100-400-4800. Senate Bill 387 went into effect on September 1st, 2025, requiring the county judge's bond increase from $100,000 to $500,000. The cost of the bond increase was not received until after the budget was approved for fiscal year 2026. As Elaine, that's pretty self-explanatory. Do we need to talk about it anymore? Do you want to give any more explanation about that?
I'm only up here if the court has any questions.
Questions from the court?
I have none. Item 6 is presented.
We've got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? None. Motion carries. Thank you, Elaine. Item number 7 is to acknowledge the official bond and oath was received for David Beatrick, Commissioner in Precinct 1, James Rosales, Commissioner in Precinct 3, Wesley Giesler, Commissioner in Precinct 4, Stephen Bailey, Sheriff, Roel Salas, Constable Precinct 1, David Kunchik, Constable Precinct 3, John Nelson, Constable Precinct 4, Tammy Broadway, Tax Assessor Collector. That is just an acknowledgement. Does the court have any discussion about that? Hearing none, we will move to item number 8. Thank you, Elaine. Item number 8 is to discuss, approve, disapprove the memorandum of understanding between Karnes County and Wilson County CARES regarding the homebound meals program support. This is something that was brought to our attention whenever Meals on Wheels went away. There was an issue with the what was was the name of that company that kind of bowed out? Like Rico, I think is who it was. And Rico decided they weren't going to do that anymore. Ms. Veronica reached out to us to work with the Karnes County, Wilson County Care regarding the homebound meals program support. So that's what this is about.
Judge, I know this is a budgeted item, I just have a couple questions.
Yes, sir.
How many individuals is this serving?
On the homebound meals, do you know off the top of your head, Joe?
Not off the top of my head.
Not a lot. Counting out home delivery, there's two people can do the route, it's maybe 20 altogether.
20 altogether?
Maybe 20.
And how many meals do they receive?
5.
Is that a week or
Yes, on Mondays, yes.
every week? I think it was $4,000 budget for the year, but we all were on board with that, so. I read the MOU, it's pretty cut and dry, I think the motion for approval agenda item 80%. I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? None. Motion carries. Okay, item number 9, discuss approve, disapprove the proposed budget for the American Rescue Plan Act, the ARPA funds, and the surplus, and if approved, allow for a budget amendment to fiscal year 26 expense GO code 795-750-5720. Surplus funds are a result of earned interest on unused fund balance and are not subject to program restrictions. I know Casey worked hard on this, and I assisted where I could, but Casey's smart one in the office. So I feel confident about this, knowing that we are able to spend the interest earned on there. We had to commit these funds last year, so we still do have funds to spend.
Correct. Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. So correct, just a quick synopsis, back in 2021, the county received approximately $3.5 million from the American Rescue Plan Act, which was a coronavirus state local fiscal relief fund. Since then, as the judge already stated, in December 20th of last year, the court committed all the remaining fund balances of approximately $1.4 million, which was some EMS equipment, all-band radio equipment for the sheriff's office, emergency generators, an ambulance remount, and then some emergency operations center equipment. That was a total fund balance at that time. And so going into fiscal year 25, we had all of that money intended to be utilized during that period of time. The really only big expenditure that was utilized in fiscal year 25 was the $600,000+ worth of all-band radio equipment for the sheriff's department. The emergency generator fund project kicked off, and those funds were encumbered. However, because of the lead times on generators, those funds were only a small portion of those were expended at the end of the year. So we carried, and I know Tom doesn't like the word carried over, we didn't use the majority of that fund balance. So during that year, we were accruing interest on all of that. So that total surplus of accrued interest from fiscal year 25 going into the total fund balance available as of December 30th of this year was $155,945. And so the total encumbrances in fiscal year 26, we have is some portable radio batteries, an ambulance chassis, which is actually in your bill list today, an ambulance remount, which is the patient care portion of that asset, the annex generator for $112,000, the Fall City Fire Department / EMS station generator for $53,000, Karnes City Road and Bridge headquarters generator, which only remaining portion is $14,000, and then the Karnes County Road and Bridge fuel farm generator, the remaining portion is $6,600 and some change. So I am happy to report that as of last week Friday, the generator project is 100% done. So the annex on the square of this facility, 100% generator backup. Karnes County Road Bridge headquarters, 100% generator backup, as well as our fuel farm, and then the Fall City Fire Station / EMS station, 100% generator backup. And we also purchased a 100 kW towable generator. So that was a vision of previous Commissioner, Emergency Management Coordinator Shelby Dupnick. So I'm happy to report that's done. We do have a have one pending bill, some today, and then next week, or next commissioner's court, we can get paid out. But back to the subject matter here for the surplus. $155,945. I did to the best of my ability, and the court can, I'm open to suggestions or commentary or questions on the proposed budget. Tried to look at opportunities that have historically presented themselves and just we lack the funding or the want to use taxpayer funds to fund those projects in the past. So going through the list really quick. Communications, dedicated communications has always been a big issue for Karnes County. So the leveraging of the Starlink technology is a portion of those funds. We currently have one Starlink mini that we kind of purchased on the beta utilizing ARPA funds. Jimmy actually carried over plan for fiscal year 26, the ongoing data usage for those devices, but we didn't account for is the hardware cost, so actually buying the satellite dishes. And so proposing that we purchase 2 more minis, which is a portable solution where you can put on a dashboard of an emergency response vehicle, or we're going to intend to mount on the command trailer that the county currently has. As well as 3 fixed sites. So the intention of having one at the Fall City Fire EMS station, again, if it becomes an island secondary to a flow like we saw in 98, we'll be able to have a secondary DOC on the other side of the flood zone, have a dedicated internet there, and then the Karnes County Sheriff's Office dispatch, and then our new building that we're currently constructing in Kennedy, which will serve as a primary emergency operations center for Karnes County. So having primary, secondary, and tertiary internet with satellite, obviously being tertiary, is what that proposal is. So there's a Starlink project, proposal 1. The second one is a radio over IP solution. So basically taking 4 donor radios that will be able to get locked into our 4 current VHF dimensional channels and bring that into a gateway that can then be leveraged remotely. So if you're outside of radio coverage range, your antenna is not strong enough to hit the tower here in Karnes City, whether you're in Austin, San Antonio, or New Jersey, using the LTE solution, as long as you have a data connection, you can actually talk back to Karnes County with that. So that's a secondary project, or the second project in line. The third is an all-terrain EMS unit. This has been a conversation ongoing that I've had with the judge over the last couple of years, and I agree with trying to look at non-taxpayer funds to fund this project. We've been approached, local businesses and Santa River Authority, which have not been lucky thus far, but I think this is an opportunity to provide that asset to our department, not only for wildland fire and force protection, for all our firefighters on the fire line, for hydration or evacuation off of the fire line, because again, it's going to get hot very soon, as well as all the river bottoms, creek beds that we have. Escondido Creek Parkway has always been a challenge for us. So there's tons of opportunities that are presenting themselves that historically would be best served with this type of asset. The fourth project would be a replacement of a repeater. So if the court will recall, a couple of months, probably about 6 months ago, out of necessity, we replaced a repeater on the fire EMS digital frequency because the one that we've had for the years had a low output power alarm. So based on a recommendation of the radio outfitter to replace that, so we did that utilizing emergency management contingency funds. It would be an elective request to replace the primary law enforcement repeater with the same technology, Motorola GTR 8000, which is newer. It's available technology. The ones that we currently have that have not been replaced, companies don't exist, parts don't exist, so it's a full replacement. So and again, in peacetime, it would be wise to go ahead and replace it now for the price of $23,000. And then lastly, going in line with what the resolution that was passed a year ago, the remaining balance of $26,618.59 for emergency operations center equipment. So as we get near the end of project completion on our construction project for the training admin emergency operations center in Kennedy, utilizing those funds to buy additional communications equipment, stationary supplies for the function of emergency operations center. So in total, again, the total surplus of $155,945.59. I did have the opportunity to speak to Phil, the outside auditor. He's been kind of a subject matter expert on these funds every year. We always have a conversation about our budget until we get it done. We have to spend these funds by December 31st of 2026. I do believe and intend to, granted this is approved, have those funds expended by the end of this fiscal year. So we're not going to have like the race to the finish. I don't foresee any significant delay in any of these proposed projects. The generator stuff's almost done. The only other big expenditure is going to be the ambulance remount, which is encumbered. We should have that expended by April. But going back to talking to Phil, he did clarify, did some research on the Fed's website related to the ARPA funds, and then their FAQ section, it does explicitly say any interest earned on the ARPA funds is not subject to the requirements of ARPA, meaning that specific niche projects. He did recommend that we kind of stick in the same vein of emergency operations, healthcare, things like that, which most of these are pretty much all in that same vein. So happy to answer any questions that the court may have, but I believe this should be the last ARPA housekeeping item we should probably need here.
Thank you, Casey, for putting all that together. When you receive funds like that, the state gives you rules on what you can spend it on and specifically what you cannot spend it on. Sometimes it gets interesting on how you actually do get to spend those funds to benefit the county. Again, Casey said that, non-taxpayer dollars. At the end of the day, that's really still some taxpayer dollars, but it's not coming straight from our Karnes County taxpayers. So, Casey and I have been talking about this. I am in agreement with all of these things that are put forward today. It's hard for me to swallow the hilarious ATM because we have talked about that for years on EMS budget. And, whenever I sit down with department heads, all of you know that are out here, we talk about wants and we talk about needs and we talk about the distinction between those two. So, but overall, I believe that it's a good budget for the remaining funds.
Casey, I appreciate the wise use of the interest money that accumulated here. I had a question as well about the Polaris. I'm grateful that we utilize interest money that we earned and accumulated instead of having to go through a budget. Just one. Casey spent probably an hour with me last week going through every line item, telling me what the plans were with this. So this was like a 5,000-foot overview refresher for me. I agree. I think this is a good budget. I would make a motion to approve agenda item 9 is presented.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. Casey, thank you very much. Item number 10, discuss, approve, disapprove recommendation by Precinct 4 Commissioner to approve contract with DRG Architects to design and perform construction phase services for the Precinct 4 EMS satellite facility and to authorize the appropriate county officials, I'm not sure who the appropriate county officials are, to take necessary action to execute the approved contract. Commissioner Kiesler.
Court, this is a standard AIA document. I presented it to County Attorney, Ms. Caulfield. She looked at it and gone over it and didn't find any issues. It's in line with everything. I looked over it, didn't find any issues. So I'd like to make a motion to approve it and open up discussion.
Who's the appropriate county official
To authorize it.
Okay.
I'll second. I have some discussion, Judge.
Okay.
Commissioner, I agree, Rungy needs the EMS center. And I'm thinking back to what Judge Rebecca was saying earlier, and I brought up similar concerns previously as well. It's an EMS facility, it's places to sleep, places to cook, and places to store an ambulance. And I questioned with Casey previously, what more do we need other than, maybe a nice manufactured home and a carport. And there were some questions that came up to the effect of, ADA compliance and those things being able to meet. The hope was that maybe an architect could lay out to us some of those things that a manufactured home wouldn't solve those problems. I haven't seen any of those things yet. And while I know this is just for a design stage, it also obligates us to, I believe it was $120,000 for this project just to design it. Is it possible to get more information before proceeding as to why a manufactured home and carport would not work for us?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I've had some conversations with Casey as well, and I mean, he was kind of against it whenever I talked to him, from a safety standpoint. We all know that as you go further in the future, things are gonna cost more. I mean, we can look at the archives building and see how much it increases. So if we're gonna put something down there to provide services to our constituents in precinct 4, I would like to do something that's gonna be sustainable. As the same thing as in Fall City or Gillette. I think we need to put something down there that's got some roots. But I mean, if the board, wants to go back and revisit that, which I think we've already done it once and didn't agree with that, we can, but, this is still just the contract that's, to this point, it's, it's the design phase. I'm not sure, with Casey's input and mine, and he and I talking, I don't think that's, affordable building is going to fit the bill.
I understand. I know for a long time this county did with and dealt and made do with what we had. I want to be wise with our spending as well. I just don't feel like I'd have heard a good explanation as to why a little bit cheaper route would not work. If it's a whole lot of, well, we've got liability that's going to come from ADA compliance because we have to build a ramp to get into, there's a lot of us who live in manufactured homes and I go up steps every day.
Casey, would you like to say anything on this? A reason why the affordable building would not be a sufficient place for you guys?
So it presents a couple of challenges. Simply put, and I told the judge this, I told Commissioner Beatrice this, I think we had a conversation. Simply put, would it work? Sure. Is it the most optimal investment of county funds? I feel not. It's a temporary solution to a permanent problem. The permanent problem is access to healthcare in that area of the county. And if we do a portable option, you now have to figure out a replacement. I mean, you're looking at realistically 5 years is the annual replacement plan for those portable buildings, and that's in the air medical environment. I learned that just from operating in that world for a couple of years. ADA compliance is a big one. Weatherization is another one. We have severe storms, having a pre-engineered metal building slab on grade that's wind rated up to X amount is a significant consideration. Furthermore, emergency backup power. Having a portable building that's potentially going to be damaged catastrophically secondary to a windstorm or a hailstorm that doesn't have generator backup is not going to take that ambulance out of that area and have to relocate that asset back to, let's say, Kennedy, that's generator backup. We've learned that here at Karnes City, Station 2 just across the street. We're in a building that's not generator backup. It's not designed for our purposes. It works, it fulfills a need. It's not a permanent solution. It's a temporary solution to a permanent problem. I do realize the costs associated with it, and the scope of what we're looking at based upon cost of our current facility. You're probably looking at a $1.5 million construction cost, with the remaining $500,000 in non-design contingencies. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a $2 million total budget project cost. But when it really comes down to an investment for the future, I feel strongly that a pre-engineered metal building style upgrade is the most appropriate long-term solution to that. Not to mention too, you're going to have challenges finding a portable building that's going to meet the need. Bedrooms, simple. Bathrooms, simple. But now we start talking about charting rooms, we start talking about space that's adequate separation from folks that are sleeping, public wanting to access that building during business hours. All those things are considerations that have, again, is it doable? Sure, I'm not going to lie to you. It's very much doable. But in Casey's opinion, I feel it's a better solution to go into design the building for that need.
Any other discussion? I believe there's a motion and a second on the table.
It's gonna be cheaper to build it now than it would be later.
Still have a second up there, Commissioner. Okay, all those in favor, any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed?
Judge, I'd like to abstain, I'm not sure how to do it this time.
Motion will carry 3-1 abstaining. Item number 11 is to discuss/take possible action pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.071, consultation with attorney for advice regarding pending or contemplated litigation or settlement offers in the matter of a notice of claim submitted by Law Office of David Rodriguez, REC&C Construction. Ms. Tapia,
Yes, Your Honor, I'd like to go into executive session to discuss.
you'd like to go into executive session at 9:30. Offers in the matter of a notice of claim submitted by Law Office of David Rodriguez, REC&C Construction. Ms. Tapia,
Your Honor, I'd like to go into executive session to discuss.
you'd like to go into executive session Okay, welcome back everybody. Just a short little 50-minute break. It is 10:21. We're convening back into regular session. 10:21. Item number 12 is to discuss, approve, disapprove 2026 Karnes County resolution for non-commissioners court claims.
All right, court. This is the resolution I brought to court when I started here. So basically, this allows my office to collaborate with the treasurer's office to pay all these bills that are outside of our commissioner's court. They're all reported on my monthly report. And nothing has changed on it. I'll be glad to mention, Judge, if you want to know real quickly, it's utility bills and recs, telephone, internet, payroll taxes, state fees, sales tax, authorized payroll deductions, unemployment insurance, jury service, first day, health reimbursement, which is the TASC account, retirement health insurance, restitution, postage, geo, and corporate accounts.
Tom, by doing this, we just ensure that these bills are paid promptly and quickly, correct?
Yes, correct, Commissioner.
I'll make a motion to approve agenda items 12 as presented.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? None. Motion carries. Item number 13, discuss, approve, disapprove state of Texas commercial card contract and authorize implementation and administration of said program to the county auditor's office.
All right, court. I mentioned a couple courts ago that Citibank is going away from the state procurement contract for credit cards, and it's now U.S. Bank. And I do support that the court would consider doing this since we've been with Citibank, and I rolled it out in October 2020. We've gotten $47,205.62 in rebates back, and we will be getting rebates back with the new program as well. County attorneys looked at the contract. Everything's pretty straightforward.
Do you have that contract, or is that what this one here, U.S. Bank?
Yes, sir.
And that's part of the taxation.
We haven't filled it out yet, though. We want to make sure court approves it before I ever get to you to fill it out.
I wouldn't want to go away from utilizing credit cards that we can process and getting things done out here to take even longer. I'll make the motion to approve agenda item 13 as presented.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? None. Motion carries. Item number 14. Discuss, approve, disapprove adopting Karnes County credit card policy.
Yes, Judge. So this was the credit card policy that I brought to the county back when we rolled out the credit card program in 2020. It's never been adopted by court. When the purchasing policy came up, I was asked why is it not part of the purchasing policy? It's a standalone policy. So collaborating with Commissioner Yacker and county attorney, she's gone through it all, Judge, and made sure everything's right. The biggest takeaway is before we had the word will in it, now it says shall, so it's kind of softened up a little bit. But is there any other changes, Jennifer, you're aware of? That the court needs to be aware of, I mean. Yeah, so it just makes it a formal policy, Judge, that y'all adopt, that when new cards come in, we will have, all the card holders sign this as well. Before, like I said, it's just an internal document, it just makes it more like our purchasing policy, so it's out there.
And this only pertains to credit cards.
Yes, for the credit cards, that's it.
Make a motion to approve adopting Karnes County credit card policy.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? None. Motion carries. Item number 15, discuss, disapprove 2025-2026 grant resolution for the truancy prevention program through the Karnes Juvenile Probation Department.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. This is the annual resolution that I bring to you. We have our truancy prevention program that we are in about our 10th year. And we've been utilizing grant funds your approval and the acknowledgement that you are located by the department submitting that application, and naming me as the authorized agent for that grant. The truancy prevention program is in both counties. We have an attendance specialist in Karnes County and Wilson County. So this employs two people. We service the schools in both counties. We receive referrals from the school districts on kids that are having trouble attending school. So basically what the attendance specialists do is they make contacts with the students, with the parents or guardians, and just educate them as far as Texas attendance laws, and school district policies, and help them be successful in the hopes of improving attendance.
We had one little update yesterday about 315. We had to do a clerical amendment on it. It is in the Civic Plus packet and on both resolution copies. Commissioner Beatrick had reached out to me last week about that. Said, oh, me, give him a shout. You know, our Karnes Wilson Juvenile Probation Department is grant funded. A lot of it is grant funded. So this is just another avenue for truancy.
Yes, sir. My reading is, the court's going to approve a resolution. I felt like I should know what we are approving, you know, what is the truancy prevention program, and I stopped and I visited with Ms. Padron, and she explained to me that this grant and this program help to prevent it from getting to the point where charges are brought against students and their parents. And I'm all for let's keep them out of the legal system and strand all
I sit on the Karnes Juvenile, the Karnes Wilson Juvenile Board as one of the judges on there, so sometimes I take for granted that the commissioner may not be thinking about truancy, so.
And yes, feel free. We had a very good discussion last week, and anybody always feel free to come to the office or call me, and we can definitely have those conversations.
I'll make a motion to approve agenda item 15 as presented.
Okay, got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? None. Motion carries. Item number 16 is our consent agenda. In our consent agenda today, we have our report from just the pieces 1, 3, and 4. Our maintenance department, our sheriff department, constable number 1, and constable precinct 3. Yep. Excuse me, we also have a budget amendment VA 2026-05 in there. Have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Anybody against? None. Motion carried. Do we need to, on item number 17, discuss any items from the consent agenda to be acted upon? Hearing none, we'll move to our updates. I'll give y'all my little spiel, and then Commissioner Rosales is out today. Obviously, you see that, and has reached out to Commissioner Beatrick to read his report. So I will let him read Commissioner 1, and then go ahead and read James's, and then he's over obviously, our week as a court and as a county as a whole, Christmas holidays, we had a county holiday on Thursday the 1st, so I was out and about. On Friday the 2nd, I met with some landowners primarily for ag burn permits. Lots of folks wanting to get some piles burned. You see that a lot for the public. If you do need to burn, happy to go over that list of things that you need to do to have a burn Karnes grant. Also had a meeting with Commissioner Precinct 1. And on Tuesday, we had district court over there, so had lots of folks in. Opioid settlement funds spending. I got that to Ms. Tapia, and we do need to get reporting done on that. On the 7th Wednesday, we had our LEPC meeting. Justin was there in attendance with me, along with Judge Koo, Navascosa, and Judge Teagle and McMullen, and Judge Whitman in Wilson County, along with our support team for each one of those specific cases. So we had that in Turkey and Pleasanton, and I had a meeting with constituents that evening, 5:30 to 7:30, and on Thursday, the 8th, busy day, Mike, had questions about an upcoming probate. I did have probate scheduled that morning. Had a phone meeting with our elections office for some updates on what's happening with our elections. Had a meeting with Commissioner Precinct 1 on County Road 347. Also met with my head facility security man for interviews that we were scheduled for on Friday. Speaking of Friday, with the second Friday breakfast from 7:30 to 8:30 out at Alexander. Appreciate him putting that on. It's a good little get together that he's doing. So I encourage you to attend those. And just a little update on what's going on locally. So I did that and got to the office and had our interviews. We had 2 interviews on Friday morning to fill the final 2 positions of our facility security. And those went well. We have sent offer letters out. Myself, Becky sat in, Gary sat in on those. Elaine obviously was me. So those went well. We feel extremely happy about that. So we'll see some new folks out and about taking care of our folks. And then on Friday afternoon, Gio's had some changes. Gio is the private prison business across the left across 181 over there. And so I had a meeting with Gio, some of the new staff that's coming in. Yesterday I had county criminal court. And so we got done about 12:45, I think, for some report. Had some technical things done. Also had a meeting with one of the attorneys for a probate that's coming up, but not quite ready. The person that had called and set up a meeting with me wasn't quite sure of how that was supposed to go, and so I didn't want to have an unnecessary meeting with one of our locals without them having their attorney on about first. So that went well. Then I actually met with Constable Precinct 1, Constable Precinct 2, and Constable Precinct 4 yesterday, and then late yesterday afternoon with the work commissioner. We actually got there. Casey and I sat down and we got the House Bill 3000, which is our rural ambulance grant. We got submitted for that. We have $350,000 grant that will be allocated funds from the state. So looking forward to those. And y'all all seen what we've been doing since 9 o'clock this morning here in Commissioner's Court. So that's my little report. Commissioner, I'll let you do 1 and 3 and then we'll go to the first.
Thanks. After Christmas, I took some vacation time, so I don't have a lot to report on today. But construction is proceeding well at the EMS training and admin building. The slab was poured at the end of last month, and crews continue to work on site as we await the delivery of the pre-engineered building. Last week, I worked for County Food Bank Distribution, which served about 140 families. I made repairs to the Shep County's Tahoe that we discussed at our last Commissioners Court meeting. The vehicle was sitting for a long time, so before we invest more money into it, I'd like to see how well it runs around our county. Please contact me if your department would like to utilize this vehicle for county business. I've been working with the maintenance and IT departments to find a solution for the audio problems we have in this room. It's difficult for people to hear us in our live stream times. I had a resident request information about a county road that was abandoned many years ago. In my research, it reviewed the agenda packet and met with multiple departments to learn more about their agenda items. This morning, Commissioner Rosales called me and asked me to read this update for everyone. County Road 289, the entire road has been seam and stabilized and should be prime weather permitting next week. County Road 302 is being ripped and seam and stabilizing. The last section should start receiving base today, weather permitting. County Road 293, brush has been removed and notice to proceed should be sent out this week. I am going through some testing at MD Anderson at the moment. I apologize for not being in court, but appointments are few and far in between, so I have to take them when they are there. I will be in and out for many appointments the next few months, so please bear with me. I have spoken with Judge Hedke, and he agrees my health is important and to take these appointments as they come up. I want to thank Judge Hedke very much for always being understanding with what's going on with me. Thank you, Judge Hedke, very much.
All right, thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Wilson, 262.
Hey, first of all, I'd like to thank all of our employees. We won't be anything done. And I hope everyone had a safe and blessed holidays. The Hopsy drainage is in progress. Work there and the right of way has been cleared, brush has grown and encroached in on the road. So we got that pulled out, cleaned up, and now we have room for drainage on both sides of that street. Road processing will begin soon, which will include milling and base material. After the halts of the project is complete, we will start on the Panama project. County Road 211, drainage is complete, and with weather permitting, all road widening will start and road leveling will be begin in approximately 2 weeks. County Road 206, zipping and road widening will begin this week along with drainage. Precinct Service Center is work in progress. I spent a lot of time on the holidays on this project. And I'm going to have a conversation with the representative of UOG about County Road 237. They have a facility there, trucks going in and out, tearing the road up, and they fix that. So tomorrow we'll have a meeting with them about our road and bridge engineer to see if we can figure something out and get some help and get to fix our road. I'd like to encourage everyone to attend our county youth show this weekend. All our county youth that are participating and work hard all year on the projects. Let's get out and support them if we can. It was up to yesterday evening, Ag McKinney's project was quite impressive. Young people did a heck of a job. In closing, God bless you.
All right, Commissioner Beasley.
County Road 331 is nearing completion. Trucks are taking place and then all the work committee. Got RC 250 on the ground the end of the week. County Road 339, see some brush cleaning. County Road 132 has been contracted and beginning design phase. And County Road 128 is in the design phase. Road about 2 miles across County roads and precinct. Putting tickets for maintenance repairs and signage needs. I met with Chief Ebram and the architect on the EMS layout and design. Really good meeting with both of them. Met with the architect on Service Center. After that meeting, I met with the local mayor and potential partners of the Service Center and EMS site. Met with TechStop on several issues as well. Numerous calls and meetings with constituents and various issues related to some of them to the sheriff and some of the county attorneys and county clerk.
All right, item number 19, our report from our auditor and treasurer.
Report. Don't have a copy of the report. So at the end of December, we're 1/4 into the fiscal year, 3 months already. So we should have received 25% of our revenues, 25%. But you can see on the L1, we're actually at 29%. We're going in 4,290, 7,743, sales tax 1,653, R1, which is 27.55%, and interest rates. Interest is still doing good, 758,343.57, which is 24.07. employees are 7,573,285.72 on the general fund. Our expenditures are 6,771,661.12, which is so we're to the plus. On road and bridge, I brought in 2,145,69.79 on outgoing taxes. For all the gas leases are $143,392.24, which is 41.93% of the budget. Interest is $86,049.69, which is 9.6%. And then all the other revenue is $1,936,289.27, which is about 12.94%. So their total revenues coming in is $5,086,300.95. Their expenditures are $3,457,581.81. Our non-core bills, which I'll pass the resolution earlier, we had GO, the total was $10,972,938.73. The GO portion was $9,169,007.37. Payroll was $813,728.78. That included the longevity pay. Payroll taxes $637,914.13. Utilities $61,094.53, and all other expenditures $291,193.92. Our investments ended at $95,822,976.30. Texas passed with $35,242,092.87. Texas pool $31,600,669.05, and multi-bank, which is Virgin LLC, with $28,982,14.38. One other thing I want to bring up before the audit is done, it will be presented in 2 weeks from today. I want to thank all of my staff, department heads, elected and appointed, because if it wasn't for everyone working together, we wouldn't have a good audit. And I understand that we'll do an exit interview soon, Judge. And I do also want to mention, Bill did, which Armstrong and Vaughn granted us a $6,000 discount again on this bill. So of all the work I brought into my office to save money for the taxpayers, it's like $31,950 from work that we've done that the outside auditors have to do.
Okay, we have treasurer's report.
Good morning again. I would like to thank Commissioner Beatrice for getting involved with Aspen yesterday. It was a nightmare in the daycare with all the construction. Balance November 2025, $92,841,463.04. Receipts for the month of December 2025, $30,735,749.36. Disbursements for the same time period, $25,749,821.07. Total ending balance for December 2025, $97,827,391.33.
Item number 20, discuss/action on the treasurer's report.
Make a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed?
Thank you.
None. Motion carries. Item number 21, discuss/acknowledgement of personnel changes in all departments. We didn't have any new hires as of the time of this report. Like I said, we have not actually hired into the facility security, but we do have offer letters extended. And resignations and terminations, we had one in the sheriff's office, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the sheriff's office, either resigned or were terminated. Retirements, Miss Brandy Joseph, finally retired from Karnes, juveniles. I told her, I said, you must have gone to work when you were 18 years old, and I think she was just like 18 years old when she came to work at Karnes juvenile. So congratulations to Brandy. She was easy to work with for me as made my transition to learning all of these things very easy. We do have some current hiring. We're not hiring for facility officer anymore, so we take that off. We still are looking for a grant administrator. Karnes Wilson is looking for a juvenile probation department, looking for a prevention specialist. Road and Bridge is looking for equipment operator 1 and equipment 22. And the sheriff's office is looking for bailiff, jailers, and road deputies. So Commissioner, any of these things, please reach out to Elaine in our HR department. She can steer you in the right direction. Item number 22 is our payment of bills.
The total bills for today, $986,463.55. General funds, $240,913.47, nothing out of the norm. Road and bridge, the three funds, they have $407,364.63 on the main one. The road and bridge special is $14,168.07, and the lateral road is $12,785.54. The other large ticket item is on the American Rescue Plan, as I talked about earlier. We're paying $247,087.45 on that, and that comprises mostly of generators of $169,747.85, and the ambulance is $70,683.50.
On the first page, the top small line, there's a $10,452 charge for main repair.
So provisionally, the way we set up a new ledger a couple years ago, and when we get money into the TAP for an insurance claim, we charge, the money comes into the revenue, and we have separate line items for the expenditures that way we know exactly what it's costing us and those expenditures. That's not hitting the departmental budget.
Not that.
Okay, we have a motion to pay the bills. Mr. Lisby, other discussion? Okay, got a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? None. Carried. Okay, item number 23 is acknowledge our Commissioners Court will meet on January 27th, 2026 at 9 o'clock in the morning, back over at our historic courtroom at 101 North Hanbury Avenue, Suite 200, Karnes City, Texas, 78118. Item number 24 is a motion to adjourn.